London Weekly, broadcasted from Eagle News London Bureau, looking at stories in the United Kingdom and Europe. In today's update, Brexit prices hike deter British shoppers. Thousands march in London to defend the National Health Services, or NHS. The Philippine ambassador is presented to the Queen. In our lifestyles news, Grace Rivera reports on Prince Harry's visits to charities in the north of England. Love and Season reports on the Women of the World Festival. The Barcelona crew report from the Barcelona Mobile Congress. And finally, a sports roundup update by E&I Sports UK. In today's news, Brexit price hikes deter British shoppers. The spending power of households is being stretched by the fall in the value of the pound since Britain's referendum decision in June to leave the European Union, and by a rise in the global oil prices. Grocery inflation has also doubled since February, signs of penny pinching by British shoppers.
Primarily it's to do with inflation and the impact of the currency devaluation and commodity price rises feeding through into prices. And that has squeezed real wages, and it is continuing to do so, which means that actually households have less money to spread across all the things they buy.
The latest numbers showing consumer spending falling as inflation fueled by sterling's weakness over Brexit puts pressure on incomes.
The forecasts are, particularly the Bank of England's one, about quite substantial growth this year, again in the UK of about 2%, is that consumers are going to be prepared to dip into their savings more and therefore borrow more. And they will carry on spending. Now, that is a big, big assumption to make. And actually what we are already seeing is that consumers perhaps are much less willing to go out and buy anything in the shops.
Another concern, rising supermarket bills. UK food inflation has doubled since last month, meaning shoppers may consider tightening their purse strings even further.
People are thinking twice about snapping up new clothes, electronics and other luxury items. Some analysts warn the government's confidence in the resilience of the British consumer may be misplaced. Thousands of people marched in London last Saturday demanding more funding for the country's National Health Service, or NHS. The health service faces growing pressure from a boom in ageing population and due to a tight budget. The leader of the opposition party, Jeremy Corbyn, addressed the protesters, urging them to defend the NHS with all your might.
Our NHS is not in crisis because of overspending. It's in crisis because of underfunding, a crisis made down there in Downing Street.
Founded in 1948, the National Health Service, or NHS, is a source of huge pride for many Britons who are able to access free health care from cradle to the grave.
We're going to block any trade agreement that gives a green light for US healthcare companies to come here and strip out and take from our National Health Service. It's not for sale, it's not theirs to sell. It's ours for everybody in this country to keep.
An analysis conducted by the BBC showed that government proposals to reshape the NHS would result in hospital services being scaled back in nearly 2/3 of England.
The NHS is important to me because I'm a patient as well, and I'm a nurse, and I provide services to people in the NHS, and I've worked in places where people have to pay for health and where people die if they can't pay for health, and I never want to work in an NHS that's like that.
Filipino nurses in many British NHS hospitals have been employed to fill in the staff shortages. Some have even moved their families and settled here in the United Kingdom. They have seen firsthand the benefits of the NHS and also the cuts over the years.
I'm here basically because we need to save the NHS. so many people rely on it, and it would just be a tragedy if it was taken away from us by the Tory government. The NHS has done so much for my family. My nephew was born with a congenital heart disorder. On his first day on this planet, he underwent major heart surgery and has done since then every few years. It saved his life, it's keeping him alive still, and without it he wouldn't be here today. I think it's really important that people take part in things like this. If 1 million people think that they're not going to make a difference, then they're not. But if 1 million people come together to do things like this, it'll hopefully ignite people to also come together and stand up and make our voices heard.
We know which side we're on, you know which side you're on, and you know how strong our endeavour, our determination and our principles are. Defend the NHS with all of your might. Thank you very much, all of you, for being here today.
In our Lifestyles news, Grace Rivera reports on Prince Harry's visits to charities in the north of England.
His Royal Highness Prince Harry continues his charity work as he heads northeast in his visit to Gateshead in Newcastle. One of his supported charities is an organisation called Walking with the Wounded. Prince Harry arrived at Gateshead Civic Centre to a cheering crowd on the 21st of February and was met by the dignitaries and CEO of Walking with the Wounded for a meeting to discuss issues faced by ex-servicemen and women. Walking with the Wounded is a charity group dedicated in helping former soldiers who are disadvantaged by physical injuries and affected by mental health issues. The program helps veterans find employment and restore independence by helping to identify new career paths and provide training platforms to help develop skills and qualifications necessary to make a successful move into civilian life. At the meeting with Prince Harry are some of the beneficiaries, members of the council and the police force. One of the support providers for this cause is Gateshead Community Armed Forces. Those previously served in the armed forces can have access to services such as community visits, benefits, travel and housing, to name a few. Walking with the Wounded and its charity partners are working together to raise awareness in the way society perceives mental health. Plans are being put in place to improve access to care and better support networks for our wounded UK veterans. From the UK Bureau in Newcastle, I am Grace Rivera and I am 1 with 25.
Love and Season reports on the Women of the World Festival.
Women around the globe are celebrated for their remarkable achievements over the years, their dedication in pursuing their passions everywhere. To mark the International Women's Day, let's take a moment to hear about some of the amazing women who, in one way or another, have touched people's lives.
I would say Maya Angelou, because she's a worldwide known figure and she's very inspiring to women and men alike. One of her most famous quotes is, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. And I think that's a big quote that everyone should try to incorporate into their daily living, to just not let things that maybe can't change, to just let it go and keep going no matter what.
Ellen DeGeneres. She's a kind of woman that brings humour, as well as she finds the good in everything. She helps people get over situations, whether that's through health, mental issues or poverty, no judgment. And she's just got this huge heart that goes to the real people, rather than just going to specific target groups. It's to everybody, without prejudice.
Marie Curie, who was actually a French scientist, but she was, of course, originally from Poland. Marie Curie, I think, the first woman who actually got the Nobel Prize. I think it was for the discovery of radium, and so it was obviously in science. Now, Marie came from a background where education was very important, and I am a very strong believer in education. The more women are educated, and the more they will progress. And I think Marie Curie represents the opportunities that women should have.
And Rosa Parks, I think she did so much for black women in the times of adversity, and she didn't hesitate to step forward and make a stand for what she believes in. But I think in a very, very difficult time in history, she had the determination and the strength to actually stand up and say, actually, no, I'm not going to be treated like this, and I do want to be treated as an equal, and she made that mark.
I think definitely there's been a big change in women's roles in society. I think women are becoming more vocal about what their rights are, and they're more willing to go forward and push through the tough times to try and get the justice and the equality that women do deserve.
I think we've been given more of an opportunity to be a bit more sort of equal to men. We seem to have a lot more women working in like big high-powered company jobs. Things are definitely changing, I think, for the better for women.
I think the world would be a better place because women tend to have a different influence on choices. Might be more happy.
I think women have a role maybe of softening things up, maybe making it less aggressive.
I think the world would just be a little bit more equal. I think they just want to work alongside men and have the same opportunities and the same treatment that men get, really.
So I think a modern day woman is very technical savvy.
And can be very empowering too.
More work orientated.
Definitely determined.
Positive, a go-getter, a strong, happy, independent woman.
I would like to wish every woman in the world a happy Women's Day.
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 Reporting from the London Bureau, I'm Love Ann Season and I'm 1 with 25.
The Barcelona crew report from the Barcelona Mobile Congress.
Hello everyone! Welcome to the most awaited event here in Barcelona, Spain, the Mobile World Congress. It has begun in Barcelona with some of the biggest names in technology descending on the city to show off their latest products.
The Mobile World Congress has closed its biggest edition with 108,000 attendees, an increase of 7% over the previous year. In total, visitors from 208 countries and regions around the world participated in the event held at Fira Gran Via and Fira Montjuic. Mobile World Congress 2017 saw a whole stock of new smartphones, tablets, and other devices launched during its time in Barcelona.
What are you looking forward to in Mobile Congress?
Basically just see the innovation, see where the future is going, look at the trends, and it's always important to be close to the customers. There's a lot of people that come around sharing the same sort of interests, and it's good to be at the forefront.
Getting good contacts with my customers and helping to close business opportunities.
What will mobile customer be expecting to see on the market?
I think you'll see a lot of new phone devices, higher data rates, and new capabilities like Internet of Things and such.
Samsung, Sony, LG, Huawei, Nokia, and other mobile manufacturers have announced gadgets for the coming months. Samsung launched the Galaxy Tab S3, a new premium Android tablet with an included S Pen stylus that supports all the features from the Galaxy Note series. There is a 4-speaker system tuned by AKG Audio. Also relaunched its classic Nokia 3310 feature phone in the market. The device has been launched with the same moniker but with some visual upgrades. The feature phone has a 22-hour talk time and a 1-month standby time.
There's been a huge push at this show to try and accelerate the 5G standards, and it seems that because there's been quite a lot of international agreement, we could see the first 5G test networks going live this year. Then we're going to see this enormous race almost a bit of a kind of global arms race to get 5G out there first. The Chinese want to be first, the Japanese want to be first, the Koreans want to be first, people in Europe want to be first, and in North America a massive push from Verizon and other companies. Starting with 5G in the home, it won't be something you walk around with. It's going to be a bit of a while before you see 5G on a smartphone, but by 2019, 2020 there will definitely be devices out there.
The Mobile World Congress supports the continuous improvement and development in technology for commercial and industrial purposes and making our lives easier. Reporting from Barcelona, Spain, I am Lavia Puches Pablos for Eagle News. I am 125.
And finally, a sports roundup update by E&I Sports UK.
Today we are reporting from London's historic Wembley Stadium, the home of football. Wembley is one of the most iconic stadiums in the world. The great player Pelé once called it the Cathedral of Football. What you see behind me today is the new stadium, which was built in 2007 after the old stadium was demolished in 2002. Today, the world-famous stadium will play host to the EFL Cup Final, an annual football tournament held for all 92 professional football teams in England. Although not as prestigious or as historic as the FA Cup Final, the EFL or League Cup Final represents the first trophy of the Football League season. Today sees 4 times winners Manchester United take on Southampton, who have never before won this competition. Manchester United are the heavy favourites, because of their illustrious history and the fact that they have many expensive star players such as Zlatan Ibrahimovic. During the game, Southampton did their best to compete with the stars of Manchester United. But after Southampton had an early goal wrongly disallowed for offside, they were left playing catch-up for most of the game, as goals from Ibrahimovic and Jesse Lingard gave Manchester United a 2-0 lead. But gutsy Southampton never gave up, and with 2 goals from Manolo Gabbiadini, amazingly managed to pull themselves level in the second half of the game. With thousands of Southampton fans who had travelled up to London cheering their team on, it seemed as if an unlikely victory was a real possibility. That was until Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Manchester United's 35-year-old Swedish star, who they signed just this past summer from Paris, imposed himself on the finals once again and scored the winning goal in the 87th minute of the game, breaking the hearts of the Southampton players and fans. This win vindicates Zlatan's decision to come to England and play for Manchester United even this late in his career. He, as well as the impressive performance by Southampton, were greatly praised by Manchester United's manager, Jose Mourinho. As expected, Manchester United proved their dominance today as they won their 5th League Cup trophy. From the iconic Wembley Stadium, I'm Giancarlo Matera for EN Sports International, and I am 1/25. Heavyweight boxing in the UK has been undergoing a real resurgence of late. It started in 2015 with Tyson Fury's big upset victory over Vladimir Klitschko, and has continued in 2016 with new IBF heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua winning his title in April. This past week, London's O2 Arena continued to showcase great British boxing talent, as former world heavyweight champion David Haye took on current WBC cruiserweight champion Tony Bellew. This highly anticipated all-English heavyweight grudge match sold out the 20,000-seater London Arena. The more experienced Haye was many experts' favourite to win out against his younger opponent, especially as this was Tony Bellew's first time moving up 2 weight divisions to fight at heavyweight. Haye began the fight full of confidence, coming out strong in the opening rounds, attacking Bellew. But Bellew's tactics of staying calm, reserving energy, and holding the center of the ring seemed to be working as Haye began missing his wild power shots. Despite his misses, Haye was up early on in the scorecards. That was until the 6th round. David Haye appeared to slip in the ring and stumble. We later found out that he had injured his Achilles. both fighters sensed that the injury was the turning point in the match and engaged in a furious exchange of punches, with Bellew coming out on top. It was from this point on that Bellew began dominating the fight, and former champion Hay was left almost defenseless. To his credit, Hay managed to last another 4 rounds, but in the 11th was sent crashing through the ropes after a barrage of punches from Tony Bellew. Hay managed to climb back into the ring before the 10 count, but his trainer ringside had seen enough and threw in the towel, ending the fight. Both fighters had exchanged strong words with one another throughout numerous press conferences and media days, but by the end of the night, that had all been replaced by mutual respect, with the winner, Bellew, stating that he had beaten one of Britain's best ever boxers. This result leaves us wondering if David Hay would have won the fight had it not been for his injury, or is this the end of the career for the former world champion? As for Tony Bellew, he hopes his promoters can set up a world title fight for his next bout, ideally against American WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder. In football news, London Mayor Sadiq Khan has approved Chelsea Football Club's proposed new stadium to be built on the current site, saying that the development would produce a real jewel in London's sporting crown. The £500 million redevelopment of a brand new 60,000-seater stadium had been approved by the local council in January and was just waiting the go-ahead from the mayor. In a statement, the mayor said that he's satisfied that this is a high-quality and spectacular design, which will significantly increase capacity within the existing site, as well as ensuring fans can have easy access from nearby transport connections. The Swiss-based architects designing the new stadium were also responsible for Beijing's Bird's Nest from the 2008 Olympic Games. Chelsea fans are excited to see the new development that will bring Chelsea Football Club in line with many of the top stadiums around the world. These have been our main sporting stories around the UK this week. I'm Giancarlo Matera from EBC Sports London Bureau, and I am 1 with 25.
Thank you for watching London Weekly. I'm V. Manuel Susan from the London Bureau, and I'm 1 with 25.